What an absolute shit show is going on with Helldivers, and I really love this game. I really do. I play the crap out of it. I'll continue to play the crap out of it. But when I pop in to play and I find out that Sony has mandated that you are forced to have a PSN account, which I already didn't want to have when the game came out, I don't care for it. I mean, I play on PC. I know there's security issues. I don't want another account out there. I've already had my stuff data breached in the past before, thanks to what was it, Vortex? I can't remember the site that has Vortex. It's a modding site. Drawing a blank right now, but I'm not really a fan. And also, the other thing is, I kind of like my username, so I'd like to maintain my username. And if I have to display a PSN name over a Steam name, I'll lose my shit. That stuff pains me because when I made a PSN account previously, I bought one game for PlayStation, and it was GTA 5. And I do believe I made a PSN account at that time, and I don't know what my contact login info is. I tried to reclaim my old account. I can't get it back. The sad reality is Sony has ripped away Sony and Valve, whatever is going on now, ripped away the ability to buy the game in uh multiple countries, and also make a PSN account in multiple countries, and to see people from the Philippines, from Vietnam, just be told, no, you can't play now. Like, you've been playing for 3 months, but no, you can't. Is unacceptable. It is unacceptable that you cannot make a PSN account worldwide if it is required to play the game that was sold worldwide. And to pull that from under the rug from people who have grown to love this game and grown to build this community is just absolutely abysmal. It has been completely review bombed on Steam, and rightfully so. And I am part of that. Now, I'm going to keep playing and I'm going to keep recording because I love the gameplay of Helldivers 2, and that's why people are so upset. They love the gameplay of the game, and there are people who are literally being left behind. Um, this is the PSN usability map. These are the people who are allowed to play Helldivers. It's the people who are not. Now, you can say whatever you want. There's a bunch of geopolitical BS. Some people don't like people from Russia or China, but they shouldn't be denied the ability to play the game, especially since they've already been playing. And I don't care what you have to say about politics or cheating or anything. There are legitimate players who've been enthralled by this game, and there are a lot of passionate Chinese players that played the first game. So to tell them just no, you can't play, uh, is garbage. It's complete garbage. It's not even fair to these people because they can't play without a PSN account. That being said, I'm not affected by this. I live in Michigan. I live in America. I can continue to play the game, but this move from Sony is almost certainly forced on Arrowhead. And for people who don't know, Arrowhead, the Helldivers IP is owned by Sony. Arrowhead does not own their own intellectual property that they build the game on. So Sony is the puppeteer of their company at that point. That's why you see tweets that are vague from the CEO saying, what am I supposed to do if I don't have a PSN account? I don't know. Uh, it's ultimately going to hurt things because every weekend is usually a very big time for people playing the game, and it's somewhere around 150 to 200,000 people will log in on the weekend, and it might be less this weekend because of this. There's going to be a lot of people essentially boycotting the game and not playing it. And this is the wrong move, too, because I'll argue this. There's a lot of war bonds, and you want maximum sales for all these war bonds. Now, veteran players will already have enough currency. People who pay in, like me, will already have a ton of currency. But you're going to want continual, lifelong sales. You make a good game, and people worldwide come and buy your game. You want to keep selling these war bonds. You want to keep selling little bouts of currency for the people who are casual players that go, wow, that game looks really cool, and I haven't played it worldwide. But ultimately, what they're going to do is they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're going to cut off giant markets. They're going to cut off China as a market. Just boop, gone. I don't understand that. I really don't. Because this is like a game that's designed, like, you want long-term health for this game. If you're going to keep up this cadence, which I know they've had issues and bugs and balance issues and balance changes, if you're going to keep up this cadence of releasing content that can ultimately, I wouldn't say bloat, but build upon the game, you want long-term health. And long-term health isn't forcing people to make a PSN account. Now, if you wanted to link your PSN account, optionally, all for it. Give people a perk for optionally linking their PSN account. Keep things as is. There are ways to unique identify Steam players and deal with things. There are Steam IDs and whatnot. You can't sit there and say, oh no, they have to have a PSN account. No. A PSN network, I'm sorry, I'm going to argue this, is irrelevant to a game on PC. And PC users don't want it. They don't need it. There's already a bunch of bullshit. We've already dealt with EA Games Download Manager, which became Origin, which became terrible. We've already dealt with the split of Epic Games and developers chasing short-term gains for long-term failures with new accounts. This is a shareholder move by Sony. This is a money move by Sony to go look at our concurrent user engagement. And they're doing it at the sacrifice of all these Helldivers in the gray area. This is why you're seeing a group effort from the Helldivers community. And it was a community founded on group efforts. They literally give everyone, here's one goal we want you to accomplish. And they rallied people together. So there are people playing this game who are not just playing it because they want to mechanically kill a charger or they want to blow up a tank. They're playing it because they want to be part of that community effort. And what you've done is you've rallied your community against you. And you've tarnished the reputation of yourself. Sony has. And in turn, Arrowhead's being shot in the foot. Now, I'm sure they're not completely devoid of guilt in this scenario because it is business, it is a game. But ultimately, it's a very fun game, very passionate developers, and there's been some growing pains, some teething pains. Arrowhead showed a lot of floundering within their Discord and their community managers. Spitz deleting the original Helldivers Discord. I don't really care for, like, some of the comments that have come from some of the developers, and they tried to, like, I don't know, curtail those comments and say, well, we've talked to people, and then you just have immediate brash statements from people like Spitz that need to fucking realize, like, the whole situation before they post these things. Everything they say, and these people need to be socially trained to have a business sense. They're like, get over it. It takes 2 minutes to make an account. It does not work when someone in the Philippines can no longer play. It doesn't fucking work. Now, he's retracted those statements and tried to apologize for those statements. But ultimately, the damage is done. You've got people who aren't trained in a business setting to deal with communities. And they're creating community fervor and community problems. So, for starters, Arrowhead needs to deal with their community better. So, the problem is you've got this schism and split between what Sony wants to do and what Arrowhead wants to do. And it is a business. They do need to make money, but I think this is not the right way to do it. I don't think it's the right way to build a long-lasting trust. You've got a good game with huge issues, and this just reminds me of things like War Thunder and other games that have had horrible issues that it's a good game, but it was ruined by corporate. And I don't want to see that happen in this game because I enjoyed Helldivers 1 thoroughly. It was a very personal game. I really enjoyed it. But the reality is now is we are on the cusp of dropping the review score to mostly negative on Helldivers. And I would advise alter your review until they change and fix this problem because they are literally leaving people behind in one of the greatest games that has come out this year. And that is unfair and unjust for people who paid for the game. Now, Steam is issuing refunds to people. That is voting with your wallet, ultimately. This is something that Sony has really, really fucked up and totally dropped the ball. And it's the weekend. I don't expect a professional response on a Sunday. But if they don't get a professional response of what they're going to do next week, they're going to lose customers. They're going to lose thousands upon thousands of potential future customers in all these regions who have been denied the ability to play the game. They're going to tarnish their reputation, and with next game that comes up that says it requires PSN, well, people aren't going to buy that game on Steam. They're not going to buy that game on PC. And Sony's trying to grow their market on PC right now. It is clear as day. They have brought over all sorts of ports and console exclusives to PC to try and make more sales. Well, forcing people into this account scenario on Steam to play the game, and also denying people the ability to play the game. That's the big one. You're literally taking the game away from people that they paid for. That is completely fucking wrong. They need to change that immediately. PSN accounts need to be optional. That's it. You want people to link your PSN account, get some bonuses, sure. Do not force it upon people. Do not take the game away from people. That is critically a total failure on Sony right now. And Arrowhead's caught in the fucking crossfire between the community and Sony right now. And they're just trying not to get shot. Which really sucks because they took this game and they took Helldivers 1, which was such a niche and small game, and it held a special place in my heart. And they turned it into something enormous, a game that has become the only game that I actually still play while I have a bunch of other real-life stuff going on. Get your shit together, Sony. Don't fuck up Helldivers 2, because it is too important to a lot of people because they have grown to love this game.